book of Acts, chapter 7. I read that to you because sometimes we think that when God calls us to something, that we actually see the whole thing that God called us to. And normally that is a mistake. Because when God calls you somewhere, he's calling you to that place that he called you, but that might not be the end of your journey. He might be calling you there so your vision can be expanded to what he really wants to see you. For example, what he wants to show you. For example, he told Jeremiah, go down to the potter's house, and when you get to the potter's house, when you see that, I'm going to give you a word. Now his word was go to the potter's house. But going to the potter's house is not really what God wanted to show him in his life. So he goes to the potter's house because that's what God said. But while he gets to the place that God called him, God shows him something else because he obeyed the first word. God told Abram, I want you to leave this place where you are in Haran. And when you research it, you'll find out that he lived in a place called Ur. You are, and it's a place that belonged to the Chaldees. And history says that these people were sun worshipers. But he said, Abram, you need to leave here because I want to do something else in you. Okay, let me bring it home. Think about what God has instructed you to do so far. Since we're all music people in here, what if God said, I want you to get yourself ready so that you can win a Stellar Award? I want you to get yourself ready for that. You're going to win a Stellar Award. Now, don't you think that the Stellar Award is the end for where God wants to take you? Because when you think about it, an award, that little statue that they give you at that award show, that's nothing. If you really want an award, you can go down to the trophy shop and have them make you an award. So it's not about the award. So when God says, I want you to get ready to get that award is a symbol for excellence in your ministry. So when he says, set your sight on the Stellar Award, you can't get that Stellar Award unless you take your ministry to a certain level of excellence. So is it the award that God is trying to give you, or is it the excellence in your ministry that God is trying to give you? So you get on stage and you get the Stellar Award. The night of the Stellar Award, God will probably give you a dream about, now that your ministry is at this level of excellence, I can use you in these other arenas because you obeyed the first word. What has God told you and you don't think it's big enough? You think, God, you should have told me something real big instead of telling me this first step. Why don't you just go ahead and obey the first step? I think it was in here when I told y'all that at night when you turn on the lights of a car, that the lights only shine so far, but you can't. The lights will shine further when you go further. Right. That's how your life works. So if God says, I want you to get the Stellar Award, or the award at Florida State, or the Palm Beach County Award, or even the West Palm Beach Award, go and do what God said. Take the first step so that God can show you the rest. If you know the story of Abraham leaving his family, and family, by the way, comes from the root word familiar. What he's saying is, you need to leave what's familiar because I want to make you something else. And sometimes what's familiar is what's messing us up, because we don't want to hurt the feelings of the people that's familiar to us. We don't want to rub them the wrong way. And sometimes trying to be nice is holding you back. So God will say, leave what's familiar so that I can bring out of you what you're really supposed to have. Does this make sense? Yes. When Abram left, God changed his name. God changed his name from Abram to Abraham, because in the word, God said, what you're going to do, you're going to be the father of many nations. Now he's talking to a man that doesn't have any children. He's thinking either my stuff don't work or my wife's stuff don't work, but whatever is not working, I don't have any children. So God changed his name to a man that has children, Abraham. He can't see children in the familiar place. He can't see the father of many nations in the familiar place. He can't see that my family is going to bless all the earthly families in the familiar place. What are you blinded to because you won't leave what's familiar? What are you blinded to? What are you blinded? You think you got 20/20 vision, but you think that because you see what's familiar. Do you know in my house I can walk through the whole house with the lights off? Yeah. Because it's familiar. So I think I can see real good. Maybe my house is just familiar. So I don't really need to see. Maybe your ministry is just familiar. So you really don't see your ministry at all. Because you're just doing what you're used to doing. Everybody think they knew what ministry was until Jesus started raising people from the dead. Everybody thought they knew what it was all about until this man is walking on the water. Everybody thinks they know you until you break out of your familiar. Now, before I sit down, let me warn you. When you try to break out of familiar, people are going to talk about you. That's right. People are going to say, after all these years, Pepper, you've been doing it like this, and now you want to do it like that. Pepper, you done changed. Friend, you done changed. I don't think you should be doing like that. I don't think that's God. Got nothing to do with it's not God or the devil fighting. No, you're just breaking out of what's familiar so that what's in you can come out. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Last point. When a woman gets pregnant, now I've never been pregnant, but I heard about it. When a woman gets pregnant, she starts changing. Her skin starts changing. Her nose spreads, especially if you're married to a black woman. Her nose spreads. She gets mood swings. You ever been pregnant before? You go through mood swings and stuff. You're hot at the wrong time and cold at the wrong time. Did you fuss? You was fussy? Okay. Did you eat strange foods? She's not like that because she became strange. She got like that because there was something brand new on the inside of her. What made Abraham change? What made him hear the word where God said, leave where you are and go to a place that I'm going to show you? There was something inside of Abraham that needed to come out. I bet there's something inside every one of you that needs to come out. You're not crazy just because you're crazy. You need to let this thing out that's clamoring to get out. You need to let it out. But don't let it out in an inferior environment. Don't let it out in the familiar place. Go to the place that God is showing you and have your baby. Make sense?
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right.